Unit 4, Formative 1, Day 2. Today we're going to be talking about scientific notation. I'm hoping most of this is a review, but let's talk about what scientific notation means. So here's two problems that are both in scientific notation. The main thing that you need to remember is that first number needs to be between 1 and 9. In other words, it needs to only be one digit. So it has to be one digit, and then you have your decimal point, and then whatever other numbers you have in there. In this spot, you never put in a 0 at the end. Okay, so if it's a 0 at the end, you just leave it off. Okay, so this is times 10 to the 4th. It's always times 10. This exponent tells you how many times you move your decimal. Okay, so on that one it's positive. On this one you notice that it's negative. Okay, if it's positive, you move your decimal to the right. In other words, the number gets bigger. If it's negative, you move your decimal to the left. Okay, let's try a couple. Alright, so here's the number 0.00007. Okay, so we want to figure out how many times would we have to move our decimal in order to get it to be one digit. Well, the only digit in here is 7, so this is going to be 7 times 10 to the something. So we got to figure out, we got to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we had to move our decimal point 5 times, but if it would start here at 7, we actually moved it to the left, so it's negative 5. So 7 times 10 to the negative 5. So if you notice, 7 is actually a bigger number than 0.00007. So we use the negative 5 because it's actually a really small number. Alright, so number 2, 54 million. Okay, so the first number has to be 5, point, and then you have a 4. There's nothing after the 4 other than 0, so it's just 5.4 times 10 to the, well, we put our decimal place right here. And so we need to move that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spots to the right, so 10 to the 7th. It's positive because it moved to the right. Alright? Decide if the number is in scientific notation. If not, we need to fix it. So this is 54 times 10 to the negative 3. This is not, because 54 is not between 1 and 9. This, what we would need is 5.4 times 10 to the something. Now, if this was 54 times 10 to the negative 3, that means we'd move the decimal place 1, 2, 3 spots to the left. So the number would be 0.054. Okay, so really, we only want to move the decimal place 2 spots to the left. So we need to go to the negative 2, not the negative 3. Okay, so our answer would be 5.4 times 10 to the negative 2. Number 4, 72.8 times 10 to the 8th. This is not scientific notation. What we would need is 7.28. The decimal spot's one place to the right. Okay, so we need to move it to the left, so we would times this by 10 to the... Now, since this would be moving it 8 times from there, we need to move it one more time. Okay, so 10 to the 9th. Alright, so the number gets bigger by 1. Alright, write the number into standard notation. Okay, so it's in scientific notation. We need to write the number out. So 3.65 times 10 to the 5th. So that's 365. I need to move that decimal place 5 times. So it was right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where there's nothing, we need to fill it in with zeros. Okay, and then put your comma. So this is 365,000. Alright, this number 6, it's moving it to the left. So you had 4, 2, 7. The decimal was here. It needs to move 6 spots to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, 4, 2, 7. Alright, so that's scientific notation. Make sure you wrote all 6 problems down. You need to have all 6 examples in your notes in order for it to count. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.